Hey y'all, welcome back to the garage. Welcome back to the channel. Just putting the 64 Impala away. Customer's probably gonna be coming to get this here pretty soon. Finished up everything on it. Then he threw in a last minute item. Let me show it to you. Look at that. Nice set of fender skirts to go on both sides. These are actually OEM originals. They came in, they were in pretty rough shape, but as you can see, got a pretty nice shine to them now. Anyways, got those all finished up for the guy. Still working on the 57. Had it outside yesterday. I was doing a bunch of wet sanding just to see how nice and straight it is. So, finished the 64. 57's well underway. You may have noticed there's a big old hole in the wall. Well, let me show you why there's a big old hole in the wall. Because there's a Subi over here, WRX STI. Well, and there's like the brother to the car next door, just a little bit different shade of green. It's got some fancy pinstriping on it. I would check out the gold leaf, like that's actually pretty slick. And we'll get into what this is all about, but this is Calvin.
It's not Calvin. It's Keegan.
It's Calvin. And this is Hobbs.
It's not Hobbs, it's Taylor.
Now these guys are my neighbors. Well, so they're pretty handy guys when it comes to new modern age stuff and what have you. That's what they've actually gone to school for. As a matter of fact, Calvin's got a Master Tech certification,
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And you're how old?
24 years old.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Anyways, we're gonna team up on a couple of cars. We got this 57 Chevy that we gotta do. Basically what we got is a bit of a hot rod here. Hold on, let's help him get the hood off. What we're doing is customer brought this in. He bought it for his dad. His dad is 79 years old. But if you just take a quick little peek underneath the, well, where the hood used to be, you can see there's a pretty decent little engine up there. And that's 4-bolt main, Chevrolet 350. It's got a Holley Sniper EFI. It's got camelback heads. If you guys don't know what those are, just look for that little camel hump on there, and that is going to tell you that that is what is known as a Chevrolet camelback head, also referred to as a fuelie. Now I don't know which of the two casting numbers that they are, but it's a pretty good sign that this engine is pretty hopped up, and quite frankly the guy does not want it hopped up for his dad. And let's see, it's got some pretty crazy belts on there. That would be really cool if it had a blower, but it doesn't have a blower. This is like some electrical spaghetti. You can find this at your nearest grocer. Let's see, what else? So basically here's the gist of what I'm gonna do, he's gonna do, and he's gonna do is well, we're gonna call a priest to get rid of the ghost around here first. And then we're gonna take the ponies out of this engine. So what's gonna happen is this Holley Sniper EFI is coming off of here. It is gonna get a 2-barrel manifold. It is gonna get a 2-barrel carburetor again on it, kind of like it had from the factory. This silliness is gonna go away. That belt is definitely going to go away because the alternator bracket was already broken on here. And like I said, we're going to take a lot of the ponies out of this unit so that his dad can drive it and he's not going to have to worry about it. But above and beyond that, we've already looked at this a little bit, and there's some stuff that we got to fix. Like, I don't know, what are some of the things that we saw in here?
Definitely the radiator right here, how it's been pushed back in order to fit this big engine.
Yeah, so that's not supposed to sit there. But it won't fit because of our Mad Max blower belt system. That's up there. So one of the things I saw in this was these fancy brake lines. And the guy said the brakes were really spongy, and I was just looking at it. I was following the brake lines and realized that there's a brake line going up and over and across from the master cylinder, and I assume having the brake line elevated above your master cylinder has probably got something to do with that really spongy pedal. Anyways, we're going to build all new brake lines for this. Above and beyond, we're going to pull the engine out. The camshaft is, I don't know, how would you describe it?
A mother thumper.
It is a thumper. Well, so I asked the guy when he came by, I was like, hey, does it have an aftermarket cam? Because I saw that vacuum canister in there, and he's like, no, it runs pretty good, but the exhaust is pretty loud. And then I fired it up and I was like, that's a camshaft. That's a big lumpy camshaft. So we're gonna even end it up, we're gonna slide the engine out of here, we're gonna take transmission out. If it's got an aftermarket converter, we're gonna take converter off. We are taking the headers off. Gonna put in a factory grind bump stick. On the outside here, we are gonna pull off all the wheels and tires. We're gonna inspect the brakes, the tie rods. We're gonna have to get to it anyhow because we're gonna have to do all the brake lines because you should see the goofiness that's going on in the back. We're probably gonna have to drop the fuel tank out of this, take the fuel pump out, put in just a standard fuel pump with a fuel pressure regulator. Probably use the existing line if it's not just all zip tied in place. Is it all zip tied in place?
Far from it.
No?
Far from it.
Did they just tie knots around the chassis with it?
Yes.
Oh, look at that, that's fancy. Is that the only one?
No, we got this spicy ground down here.
You sure it's a ground?
Wouldn't place any bets on it with this car. Yeah, we need to put those back to medium rare like God intended.
Well, that battery's got a nice wedge fit.
Oh, it's mint, dude.
Dude, that's it's not leaving. So diving right into this car, we're all just gonna jump in and take a wheel position. Find out that you came over here without checking your battery. All right, so far we got the wheels and tires off. Pleasantly surprised, we found this car has disc brakes already on the front, which is pretty cool. Still got the drums in the back. We're gonna have to replace every bit of that stuff. As you can see back here, it's all nice and lubricated, and it's really not supposed to be lubricated. So we're gonna end up replacing all that. We're gonna end up replacing the, actually this brake line doesn't look too bad. That one on the other side is really goofy looking. Shocks front and rear. It's actually got a sway bar, but it's missing a set of bushings, so we're gonna end up putting a set of the sway bar bushings back in there and probably fix up a little bit about how that sway bar is mounted to the axle. That's a little, there we go. All right, so here's where we're at. So Calvin under there is looking for a petcock that doesn't exist, but he found a drain port in the block, so we're draining it there. Ooh, look at that. Boy, that is butthole brown.
Yeah. It looks like they just ate Taco Bell.
Ooh. So out the radiator's pissing all that Taco Bell mud water out. Hobbs is down here trying to get the shock off, and then we're trying to figure out what size the alternator stud here was rounded off to. We're figuring it's about 6 3/4 millimeter now. Give it the Lubbock test.
The Lubbock drive?
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, look at that. Came back up on its own this time.
Wow.
Put it back on there.
Yeah. Why are we
Right?
replacing
That's still good.
These ones were replaced in 1983. Yeah. Aluminum.
It's not a hose plant. That's it. It makes it.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ah,
Right? I bet you won't lick it for $5.
I'd do it for free.
Yeah, I just seen this little daisy over here. Man, look at the insulator they put on the brake line. Like that is classy. Just don't follow it down the rest of the way. See. Oh, thank God that fuel line wasn't tight. Like, I hate it when people crank those down. All right, folks, we basically got started on this project. I don't know, what was it, about 5 o'clock? About 5 o'clock today. It is now 8:20, 8:30, so 3.5 hours or so. And we have got the engine out, and we are ready to swing that out of the way. That's why we like the old stuff. So at this point of the night, I think we're going to finish cleaning up. We're going to put all of our tools away, and we're going to call it good on this until, I don't know, probably Monday. We're going to take tomorrow off. Yeah, we're taking tomorrow off. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in.